Hello and welcome back to On Storytellers Night. I'm Nathan, joined as always by my co-host Josh.
Hello.
So how have you been the past week? Or a little bit more than that since the last podcast failed.
Yeah, sadly, it was a good one, a good topic, in my opinion, because it was mine. But past 2 weeks, I had Ellie over prepping for uni started back up after the Christmas holidays comes to an end.
Mm-hmm.
Been working my backside off recently, and everyone's returned to the flat. I have literally not had much of an excitement of 2 weeks.
Yeah, I can imagine. Not much going on, is it? It's all back to normal. Yeah, mine's been the same, just like new channel, which is going mental at the moment, and work. Although yesterday, took Jack to go see Iron Lung.
Please do share. I do want spoilers for it. I am clear. I would like some because I don't think I'm going to be watching it for quite a while because me and Ellie are watching other stuff at the moment and I don't have time to watch much.
It's quite interesting. It's well made. I think Markiplier did a good job with what he had and the storyline he developed from the game. Are you familiar with the game?
I am familiar, yes.
He does follow that, but he adds to it, and some of the lore stuff that I don't know if you saw, like the original video, then he did one later with like the lore and everything else, and he was like typing in his computer and asking it questions. So he covers a lot more of the kind of lore behind what's going on as well, and that sort of thing, which is quite good. So he does incorporate a lot of that, but it was really well done. I thought there's a few bits you think could be explained a little bit more and that sort of thing, but it was. Yeah, it's a good atmosphere to it. It was kind of like Event Horizon and that sort of thing. Where it's kind of like a building dread all the time and then something happens. And no, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was, for a first attempt at a big like budget movie, like I say, big budget, costing like 3 million, didn't it? But you know what it is, it's done well. And let's be honest, it's giving Sam Raimi a run for his money at the moment as well, isn't he? It's like,
yeah, I know. But Markiplier did short out today, and he was clear first in the first day, but the next 2 days to 3 days, he hasn't been on the list.
Yeah, it did happen. He did go back on though. They were at top of the list for a little bit, and the other film, what was it called? I don't remember what it's called now. Send Help.
Santel, yes.
Yeah, that was creeping up. It was like 600,000 behind, then 400,000. It was creeping up slowly. It did pass. Well, obviously it's in more cinemas, but I can't believe how many cinemas had Iron Lung. And we struggled to get tickets in this area. We really struggled. The cinema we usually go to is View in Cumbrawn, because we like View because it has the nice big electric reclining seats and the tables, and it's really good. But we couldn't get tickets there, so I ended up going to Showcase. But that one was quite empty. Everywhere else was full. They even had it in my local, like, no-name cinema, which is like crazy. When I looked 2 weeks ago, we had to go to Cardiff to go and see it. And then I looked like last week, I was like, holy crap, it's everywhere. And I mean everywhere. It was just like crazy. It was definitely worth watching. It's quite atmospheric. Then the trouble was, because I went to Showcase, the sound there isn't good. For some reason, they only have true surround sound in one screen you have to pay extra for. Like every cinema should have surround sound.
Showcase down near my end, they have all their rooms with speakers underneath the first 10 rows. They have an entire set of speakers underneath each seat, so you get the third. Like I mentioned when I watched Lord of the Rings, I felt the balcony.
None of that. It was just sound coming from like where the screen is, and it's like sometimes because some bits are quiet and you struggle to hear it. It was at first it was a bit kind of like, oh, this is annoying. And then you just kind of got into the movie and you didn't notice as much. But yeah, the sound really let it down in that cinema. So I know he's worked hard on the sound for it, for, Dolby Atmos, but they don't have it in most cinemas. So I would go to Showcase again just because you have to pay extra for the 4DX screen that has like true 360 Dolby Atmos. Like, why doesn't he have a screens? You go to a crappy cinema down the road and they've got surround sound. I got better surround sound at home than the cinema. It's like, but it was a massive screen. So that was kind of like a blush thing, but no, it was worth watching. I can see a lot of people may struggle with it because it is very slow and the ending is quite kind of surreal.
Yeah.
And it does sort of follow the game quite well. So I thought it was really, really good. And there were some really nice moments where he's made some choices for like camera angles and focusing on certain things that really kind of gave it that little bit of an extra edge as well. And it was, I was impressed. I enjoyed it. It was good.
Brilliant. Well, one thing that I haven't mentioned that I've done in my 2 weeks off, while Ellie's was over, we watched episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of Star Wars.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, and 6. She has said that she is happy with her place in the Star Wars world at the moment. She's getting along quite well. But I'm loving the Star Wars rewatch. I haven't rewatched Star Wars in a long time.
Yeah, I did do that a couple of years ago with Jack, and we watched them all in order. Not bothered with the newer ones, mine, but just like the original ones and then the prequels. It's worth doing now and then.
Yeah, well, which is what I'm going to show Ellie because it's considered time, and they're going to continue it. They have to.
Well, they are on about redacting. So there's a lot of talk about what they're doing at the moment with it. So we shall have to see, I guess. But it is what it is. Some of the stories are saying they're going to keep Rey Skywalker, and some are saying she's not going to be part of it. So I don't know. Don't know what to believe anymore. There's a lot of rumors each way because now she's not involved anymore. She who shall not be named, she's now gone. So,
and we've got Filoni.
Yeah, so we'll have to see.
Actually gives a crap about Star Wars. And
well, that's what I'll say about Iron Lung is you can tell the difference between a studio making a film because they bought the rights because they know it's popular and just screwing it around. He made a film because he loves the story, and he did it, and that's how he did it.
He loved it.
Yeah, I was surprised by the people in it as well because some people I didn't even know were in it. Obviously, I knew Jacksepticeye was in it.
Yeah,
because I saw that Valkyrie's in it. Alana Pierce is in it. It's like there's loads of people that you see there, and it's like, damn, I didn't know it was them. Because it is quite a small cast, because obviously it's mainly him in the submarine.
Yeah.
And there's mainly just then voices. There's a few other like people you see, but it's definitely, I think it's a good thing, even if it's not an Oscar-worthy movie or anything, because let's be honest, that's a difficult thing to achieve. I think it's shown what independent people can do if they're passionate about something, and the difference between passion to make something and making something to get the money. Peter Jackson, he had a passion for Lord of the Rings. Look what happened with that.
He won 17 Oscars, which is still
crazy. And you look at Star Wars, the last 3 movies they did were not made by people who are actually that invested in Star Wars. They wanted to do their own thing. You can't do that in series. It's like you can't just make your own thing, like Witcher and everything else, where they just go, "Oh, we're going to do it our way." And Halo, it's like, no, people love it because they love it, not because they want somebody to change it.
Why change something that's already perfect?
Exactly, or close to. It doesn't have to be perfect, but if somebody likes something, then and you say, right, we're going to do it this way, then do it. Don't change it and just keep names.
Nothing in the world that's perfect.
No.
Yeah,
let's carry on because we keep going down that rabbit hole all the time. So I've gone for something a little bit different and a little bit kind of lighthearted, but could be controversial in some ways. So, Fandom Court.
Explain.
So I'm going to name a few things and we'll kind of discuss it and see if we agree with a statement or think it's wrong. So there'll be lots of different things. Some of it might be choose something from something, the best of this, best of that. So there's lots of different like genres and that sort of thing. So we'll do with some gaming ones first. So the first one, is Skyrim actually overrated?
No.
I
think it's perfectly rated.
Yeah.
It's I think you want me to give an explanation on my opinion.
Yeah, definitely.
So there's the base game alone had so much lore, it had so much different directions you can go. You tailor your own character's life, its story. Becoming a Dragonborn, you can either become evil or a hero. You can become a witch, a werewolf, a vampire. You can become a lot of things. And then they added a DLC, which is actually reasonably cheap. And and it explored even more opportunities within the world of Skyrim and connections to previous games and games that we have and places that we haven't even heard of. So I think it's perfectly rated.
Do you think that any of it is a little bit too long-winded and could be shortened, like some of the quests where you have to talk to this person, go there, do that, talk to the, it's the whole Destiny, speak to the person 15 times and go and kill 20 things?
The thing is, I don't mind it in Skyrim because you have a lot of places where you might haven't discovered yet. And you're like, oh, on my travels, I'll explore here. I've got an empty inventory in the next towns after this cave or dungeon.
Yeah.
Come out with a load of loot that you've never seen before.
So, from that view, then, the open world aspect of it helps mitigate the monotony of speak to this person, do that, speak to this person, do that. Whereas with Destiny, you speak to a person, do something, come back, speak to them, leave the room and speak to them again, and all that bullshit that we had to put up with. So that makes sense.
Yeah, there's a lot more versatility on the travels. There's a lot of side quests as well, but you can make your own side quests. Let's go in a cave. Let's kill these bandits. A dragon nearby. Let's go for it.
That must be that's something I'm enjoying about the Harry Potter game. It's very much like that. You've got the whole area to discover, and you can go anywhere you want to at any point. None of the areas are locked. You can go anywhere you want to and do what you want and choose the kind of spells you want, be evil. Each quest you do in side quest, you can choose different reactions. You can be like, nice somebody says, oh, I've lost my books. Can you go and get them for me? You can collect the books and give them back to them. Or you can collect the books and say, oh, you better pay me a little bit of money if you want it back. Or you go, I'm just keeping them. So you have all those different options with all the different side quests as well. And obviously you can level up different spells and go down the dark path or whatever you want to as well. So there's all of that kind of thing in it as well, which is it's quite enjoyable. And there's a lot of story as well there, which is quite good. It's a very similar kind of thing. Not quite on the scale of Skyrim, because it's obviously a much smaller world because you've only got Hogwarts and the surrounding areas, but it's a very similar kind of open world. And apparently the Lord of the Rings one is going to be like that. So
yeah, I'm high hopes for that.
Well, what they've actually said is it's completely open. You can go from the Shire to Mordor anytime, whatever you want, and just wander. So, oh my God, we're going to spend our lives there. Just going to spend hours and hours and hours just walking from place to place. Fast travel? No, we want to walk there like the hobbits. Oh, it's been brilliant. Okay, next question. Who is the best Pokemon starter of all time?
Pokemon starter of all time?
Which is the best one?
Right. My choice, starter would always be Squirtle. Mainly because I know Blastoise. I know how to use them in many different Pokemon games. I know Blastoise very, very well. But the best one, I will say Charmander, because you can get to Charizard quite quickly with him in most versions of Pokemon. So I only think the best starter is
Charmander.
Charmander, yes.
Although, Charmander is a very kind of good all-round, not too kind of difficult to use. It's kind of the easy choice, isn't it? Really. For me, it's Bulbasaur, just because I've got nostalgia for it.
I was going to say Bulbasaur might not be everyone's favorite pick, because Venusaur sometimes can be a pain in the backside to get to. But I love Bulbasaur with a passion. That's my second favorite. It was always between Bulbasaur and Squirtle.
Yeah. As Bulbasaur was my first one when I first got Pokemon Blue back in the day when it's first released. It's like, so I always have a soft spot for that one.
Yeah,
always.
What I would have to say is definitely the little red fiery worm.
Oh, it's so much fun. It's been ages since I played Pokemon. I've got Pokemon Violet and I hardly played it. I've got to do it at some point, but I always get bogged down with recording stuff rather than just playing games. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's kind of frustrating. Right. This is quite a relevant one at the moment. Do video game remasters help or harm the industry?
That's a hard one.
That is a difficult one because there's so many arguments each way in there.
perfect remake, but there's a fair cut content heavily in Resident Evil 3 remake, sadly. About 30 to 40% of the original game was cut.
Yeah. But then also, if they're spending so much time remastering it, they're not releasing new stuff. And they're just rehashing old things. Like Halo. How much have they done that? And how many new games we had that are good quality? Halo Infinite came out and it was a pile of shit. Didn't have multiplayer, half the stuff didn't work. But yet they keep re-releasing like Master Chief series and having 1 again and 2 again. It's like they have to do that.
Rockstar, GTA.
Skyrim, how many times are they going to release that? And they've never released a new game. It's just like, same as Rockstar, look how long it's taken them for 6. And they keep remastering the old ones.
Say in that aspect, harms. Because you get trolled, you get people that leave because it's not working out. It's that.
They should be able to make new games rather than rehash old ones and try and update them. The one that I'll say at the moment is the most interesting, it's not quite a remaster, it's kind of more of reimagine, is Fable, which I really can't wait for. I'm really looking forward to that game because I love Fable. It was so much fun. So the new one does look good. I think they've cut back a little bit on some of the things they had in the original one, and they're gearing it more towards 2 and 3, where your character appearance doesn't change so much depending on if you're good or evil. Whereas the first game, you become evil, like a big hulking monster with like red eyes and leaving fiery footsteps, and everyone runs screaming for you. You don't get that, I don't think, in the new one. It's more kind of just inside and not sort of outwardly showing that, which is a bit odd. Speaking of weird things with games, have you heard the latest about GTA 6?
I've seen a spreadsheet of what stuff each character and whatnot can do.
Oh no, this is more about the game itself.
Go on.
That there's going to be a monthly subscription
for the game,
so that they can keep releasing new content and updating the game and so on, for online. An online subscription, which I guess you can look at it is Rockstar Plus, that we have, or whatever it's called, Vinewood app and all that, which is a subscription. If it's only like that, then I don't mind that, because I quite like that. The extras it gives you in game is worthwhile, but it doesn't give you too much of an advantage over everybody else. It doesn't make you all powerful. It just means you get shortcuts to run your businesses and so on. So if it's something like that, I'll be fine. If it's just a subscription it has to be kind of worthwhile, doesn't it? But that's what they're talking about, so they can continue to do the game. But they have spent more money than most buildings in the world, haven't they? So I can understand it.
I can understand it, and if they execute it well and it isn't extortionate, like I'll go for it.
Yeah, it was like I said, if it's like the Rockstar app at the moment that you can get, the Plus or whatever the hell they're called, I don't mind that. That seems to be reasonable. It'd be like have that instead of the one on GTA 5. So that would be fine. Right. Are loot boxes gambling?
No.
No? But you're paying money for something you don't know what you'll get. And it could be something good, it could be something bad. And then you'll do it again to try and get something better.
Prime example here is a Kinder Egg gambling.
But then you are getting something physical. So with loot boxes, you're not actually getting something. There's a chance of getting something online that might be better than something else. Whereas Kinder Egg, you are paying for the toy. You're not paying for a chance to get a toy. You're paying for an actual toy and a piece of chocolate. So that's not really gambling, because you're buying a product.
I'm still going to say no to that. I don't see why it would be considered as gambling, because if we're talking the basic terminology for loot box for online use is in games, like CS.
In games, but you're paying money to get something that there's only a chance to get the thing that you want. If you get a loot box, you might open 20 loot boxes and get all shit and regret paying the money. You might do one loot box and get something good that you've been looking for.
You swear it is gambling.
It's a difficult one, isn't it? Because it's not gambling in the traditional sense, because you're not getting monetary value. You're not trying to get rich with it, but you are trying to get something in game that you wouldn't otherwise be able to get, and there's only a slim chance. So if you're looking for that skin or something else, you'll keep buying until you get that. So that is where the incentive part comes in, that becomes gambling, because there isn't much of a chance of getting it. So it forces you to do it over and over again to get the thing that you want, which is kind of what gambling is, isn't it? I guess. So, and the last one we'll do for gaming is PC gaming actually the superior platform?
No.
What is?
This is not biased, and I know what you might think, and because of that smirk that I just got, I generally think it's Sony's PlayStation. They've been around the longest. They've always delivered with upgrades. They've always delivered with content, and they've always delivered with style of play. So that's what they're slogan.
And it's the catalog they have, because you have all the Japanese titles and so on. Xbox is kind of a bit generic compared, and it is to PC.
You get with Xbox, you get what's in the limelight right now, the big nice games. PC, you've got countless of different ways to get a hold of games. But with PlayStation, and you've got Sony being Japanese, and they're like, all right, we'll throw some Asian games, even though that could be a Russian-made game. It's there. I do see them.
So you don't think then things like Steam give PC an advantage, because you get all the indie games and that sort of thing that you can get, and freebies and so on like that, and obviously catalogs of thousands of older games that you can still play?
Yes, I do understand that, but no.
And no fees for online multiplayer, whereas PlayStation you have to pay to play with other people.
That's true, but I'm still sticking with Sony and that PlayStation, because they, in my opinion, they are the reason why other consoles exist.
Fair enough. Not Nintendo then. Nintendo is too specific, isn't it?
And they're kind of screwing over a lot of people the past current years. So I'm definitely Nintendo would have been my number one. Like on Nintendo Wii, you've got the original Nintendo that I have played a few times, but it's Sony's PlayStation, in my opinion. Yeah,
it's a better one, because Nintendo only have the Switch, which is brilliant. I love it. I don't play that often because it is quite limited, and the games are limited. You can only get certain types of games with PlayStation. You can get anything, and I've got massive, catalog of games now. So I agree. I think PlayStation is my number one. Although I've got a good gaming PC, I still tend to gravitate towards the PlayStation more, unless it's something I can only get on Steam, and then I'll go to the PC. So even if it's both, I can get it on both. I'll tend to play it on the PlayStation because I know it's going to run properly. On PC, there's more chance of it going wrong or not working right because of hardware conflicts, and there's so many different configurations. They can't configure the game for every single configuration. So if you've got anything slightly different than they expect, it may not run properly. So it's kind of hit and miss sometimes, and spending hours trying to fix problems, which you don't get with PlayStation. You plug it in, switch it on, off you go. Easy peasy. So I agree with that. Okay, movies and TV. Does the MCU need a hard reboot?
Yes. And I know I'm not the only fan out there wanting it. The majority of fans want it, and I genuinely think, I don't even think it would be late. I think it would be Avengers Doomsday. They'll just go like, all right, pause, fix that, retcon this, get rid of it, and then continue on from there to lead into Secret Wars. Because the battle world from Doctor Doom, then we've got Beyonder, but with Doctor Doom creating battle world at the big end of Doomsday, that would be the beginning of the resetted MCU.
But then when you say reset, do you mean reset back to nothing? Or
no,
it's like what? So a hard reset for me might mean stopping everything, going, scrap that, right, we're starting again. Like they
that.
So does it need to go, right, we're starting again?
Right.
And then do it in a different way. So have Iron Man again, have mutants, and have everyone at the same kind of, so you're not waiting 20 years,
That's what they're leading into, because X-Men universe, as we've clearly known by these godless endless teasers, Cade 6 is returning in Avengers Doomsday. I've seen that one about.
Yeah, there's been a lot of those. Everybody's returning, and it's just, oh my god, like, give it up.
Jeffrey Dahmer's returning. I've seen that one a lot. But
you said Jeffrey then, and I was like, no, don't say that one.
I thought it first though. But hard reset, no, because hard reset to me is like the next film done. Everything just gets scrapped.
Yeah.
All those films and content gone after Infinity War. That's what that means.
But then it's what they've done with Batman, Superman, Spider-Man.
Yeah,
they've done that multiple times.
Yeah, but they want different people, and some people leave, and then they just want to do different things. Whilst Marvel have tried having a continuous story within its world, its universe. And I don't think they'll have a hard reset late and immediately scrap everything and what's been
made. Then will we miss the characters that we can't have anymore? So obviously, if they don't do any kind of reset and change things, we're not going to have Iron Man back. We're not going to have really Captain America was, Captain America. We're not going to have all sorts of stuff like that, are we?
That's called humanity. That's called storytelling, narrative.
It is, but there's so many stories they haven't covered, like Secret Wars and Armor Wars. There's so many that they haven't done because they've kind of skirted around and done other things. We're not going to have Doctor Strange for very long, let's be honest. He's going to not want to do too many of them. We're going to lose Hulk before too long, I expect. So there's so many characters we won't have. And we'll be then left with just secondary characters that aren't as interesting as the original. Because when Tom Holland finally goes, okay, I'm too old to be Spider-Man, are they going to reset Spider-Man, or are they just going to go, well, Spider-Man's not anymore?
They'll
Can the MCU cope without the big hitters?
Yeah.
If we're left with like Star-Lord and characters like that, will it continue?
I think they will, because yes, it might be secondary characters, but there's room to grow. Where do you think some of these current MCU characters started from? Some of them, some current heroes didn't really start from much. And MCU kind of made them like, all right, I've got a few opportunities here. And the next big film that they do is in the Oscars, as a nominee. So there's sometimes that odd star that creeps through. And I generally think, even if Marvel finish the majority of the early on Marvel characters, I wouldn't be too upset. I'll be excited for what comes.
Is there any character you hope they introduce that they haven't yet?
Ooh.
Or anybody that they have previously but haven't in this version of the MCU?
I'm going to say that has appeared, but in the Fox universe, Rogue. I was so happy when I growing up.
But then she is coming back anyway as part of X-Men, won't she? So
yeah, but I mean, like, I'm looking forward for her coming into this version of MCU, because I was watching the 97, the original X-Men TV
cartoon. Yeah,
I loved Rogue. She was
one of the best ones there, and she was brilliant.
But characters that haven't even been introduced yet, the obvious answer would be Miles. We've heard him, but Miles Morales. We've heard of him, but we haven't actually seen him. However, I'm not going to say Miles Morales. I'm going to go and say Lady Death. I really want to see Lady Death.
But will they now? Because they've kind of finished the Thanos storyline, and Deadpool's been around for a while, so where would she then fit? That's any trouble, because a lot of the motivations for like Thanos was originally like Lady Death and so on. So that it's not going to happen in that way anymore. So is there a point to have her?
There won't be a point, but that's who I would want to see in the MCU. As one way or another, if it happens, I'm going to lose my absolute mind. But if it doesn't, which it probably won't, like you mentioned, still, I want her in the MCU, and I think they would do well with Lady Death.
Yeah.
But again, realism.
Yeah, that's the trouble, isn't it?
What about you?
But then You do know Lady Death has been introduced into the MCU already.
When?
Agatha all along. Did you not watch that?
No, I didn't.
She's in it.
Okay.
And she was okay. In a good actress plays her as well. And I'm not going to spoil who it is because she gets introduced later on in it. If you haven't watched it, stick with it. It takes a little bit, but yeah, stick with it.
Okay.
It was a bit of a weird show, but yeah, there is a reveal. So yeah, you need to kind of watch that because it leads into like Young Avengers and stuff as well.
Yeah.
So there are other reasons to watch it. So if you have, I didn't realize you hadn't seen it. Yeah, watch it, and yeah, it'll kind of make other things make more sense for the future of the MCU as well, potentially, depending on how much they go with it. Yeah, definitely watch that.
Okay, because in that case, I'm going to switch, and these are my next two big ones, and I'm torn on which one to pick, but I'm going to just say them both. Venom and Black Cat.
Mm-hmm.
Venom and Black Cat. I'd really like to see Venom. I have a feeling it will be towards Secret Wars.
A proper Venom, and not this weird Venom that had Spider-Man's powers, even though he didn't link with Spider-Man. I never understood that about the movies. It's like he's got Spider-Man characteristics, but he didn't combine with Spider-Man. No, I remember what happens in every other multiverse. Like, oh, shut up, stupid. I just hated that kind of like, oh yeah, this is why. And it's just, that was a cop-out pile of crap. Do you know who I'd like to actually see?
Go on.
Morbius without Jared Leto. Because I like Morbius. I loved him in the original Spider-Man cartoons. He was a great character. I'm a fan of vampires and stuff. And he was really good in that. So I think it'd be nice to actually have him in it properly.
Although
introduced in Spider-Man.
Hobgoblin is one that I want to see as well. We've seen Green Goblin before, but we haven't seen Hobgoblin at all. And Hobgoblin, in my opinion, he did start Spider-Man. And he was the biggest villain for Spider-Man. I would generally like to see Hobgoblin. Yeah,
I think that would be quite interesting. Hobgoblin would be a good one. Because we've seen a couple of different ones, so it'd be nice to see that. At the moment, to be honest, talking about MCU, I'm looking forward to the next series of Daredevil. That's looking good. Have you seen the trailer?
I have.
Jessica Jones. Oh, I can't wait. Really good. Okay, another one. Let's go on to something else. So, should every major franchise stop using multiverse storylines?
God, yeah.
I'm sick of it.
In my creative writing assessment before Christmas, one of my tropes was write in your own words and explain what plot, like a film plot, book plot, etc., is overused. I immediately went straight. It's
such a cop out. It's like time travel was a few years ago. It's like, explain it all with time travel. No, don't. Just how about just making proper storylines?
Yeah, I'm actually going to say this, and I know it is, and I'm standing by it because of Avengers: Infinity War and Endgame. Because of those two, everyone decided to copy and paste.
Yeah.
And we've seen it too much. We've seen it so many different times.
Done badly.
And we've seen it very rarely done good and logical.
It's a hard one to do good because it's just a reason to get, oh, look, they look a bit different. They're from a different universe. But it never works when they do it on TV because you get everyone's different apart from one person. Like, why is everyone else different apart from that one guy?
But yeah, and I'm done with it.
Yeah. No, good, because I am as well, because it's
it's ruining the film industry. It's not all of these AI. It's not all of these boycott writers. Or it's not all because of
it's lazy writing is all it is.
Yeah, and no imaginative. There is no imaginative in it.
It's like some of they did in the 80s a lot was the dream sequence. They do something stupid and go, let's wreck on that. It was all a dream. They did that a lot. They did it in bloody Dallas. It was like storyline went on for months and they killed off like important characters, and then it wakes up. It was just a dream. It's like the same cop-out shit in it. It's just like, oh, don't need that crap. Write real stories, proper stories, not just like try and fix it later. Ugh. Right. Another one that's controversial in many ways is subbing or dubbing better for movies. So do you prefer subtitles or dub?
No, I know my answer, but I've just come to a certain realization. I've been doing it for years, and I haven't noticed. It's sub. No, dubbing. Sorry, dubbing. I prefer dubbing so much more than sub. But when it comes to films, because that's what we're on, films
and TV shows.
Films and TV. Okay, I have subtitles off while watching films, but I have subtitles on when watching a series or television. I always have it on, but if it's film, off.
For me, it depends what I'm watching, because sometimes I find subtitles can detract from it. If something with lots of action, lots going on, you're kind of torn between reading and watching what's happening. So sometimes I prefer to watch it dubbed first, and then go back and watch it subbed later to hear the original like voices and so on. Like a lot of anime, I tend to watch the dubbed versions, just because it makes almost sense. There's so much happening. Watching Demon Slayer and having to read the subtitles, you're missing all the action. There's so much going on. There's kind of like, yeah, but if you're watching other types of content, then it's not necessarily that distracting to read it.
Yeah,
is a way I look at it. I kind of like a bit of both.
For me, it's dubbed. I prefer dubbing.
Yeah. Cool. This is one you'll like. All right. Is Avatar: The Last Airbender the best animation series ever made?
Yes.
I knew that answer straight away.
That's logic. That's a fact. That's a prophecy.
That's a fact to you. I never got into it. I watched a bit of it and got bored. Didn't watch it.
It's to get multiple tastes, and I'm gonna stick. I'm not.
So what you're saying is, it's a lot better than Transformers, including the movie.
Yes.
See, I'd go with Transformers. I'd watch that any day over Avatar.
The movie, that was a bit of a push.
No, because it's still part of that. And Avatar, you could, and it's like Demon Slayer, there are movies as well, part of the TV show. For me, Transformers encompasses the movie. For me, though, the movie is kind of the end of it. And after that, it kind of went a bit shit. And they just kind of did stupid things. The Return of Starscream, the Return of Optimus Prime. It's just like, I like the original series. And then the movie is just kind of like the end of it. And, they've got the Creation Matrix and all becomes well again, is the way I look at it. But yeah, so yeah. And I like a lot of the other ones more recently. Obviously, I said, Demon Slayer is one of my big favorites, and I love Demon Slayer. And Sword Art Online, I love Sword Art Online.
Likewise.
It's something about that I just like, the whole idea of the whole VR thing and making friends online. Let's be honest, it's what we do. We live online, don't we? So it's got a special place in my heart, that one, definitely. It's so good. Right. What's the greatest sci-fi film of all time?
Sci-fi. Are we counting joint genres?
Depends what do you mean by joint? It has to be sci-fi.
Sci-fi horror.
Well, that's still sci-fi, isn't it?
Alien.
Better than Star Wars.
Yeah. Better than the first, better than the second, better than the third, better than all of them. Alien. It's Alien. It's
just so much better written and so much better filmed and acted. The first Star Wars was kind of a bit hokey. Let's use a word that they would use. And it is, isn't it? The dialogue is a bit shit. The acting isn't the best. The sets are okay, but it's all kind of a bit wobbly. Whereas Alien, there's not much I think you can really fault with Alien.
No.
It's from start to finish is just...
It's more than enough said. It's Alien. You can't.
Yeah.
Done. Next.
Okay, then. Do movies rely too much on CGI?
Yes.
100%. 100%. That was the good thing about like watching Iron Lung. There's not that much CGI in it. I know the whole
thing's practical. Markiplier said the whole thing is practical. The only CGI you got is to make things look brighter.
Yeah. So and it's amazing seeing like the sub is on a gimbal and it moves around. So when he's being thrown around it, he's actually being thrown around that sub, and it's just so refreshing to see. It's like you look at the original Star Wars compared to the new Star Wars, and the original before they remastered it. I love the models and everything. It looks so good, and then they remaster it, and it's just like, well, that looks shit. And I said with Aliens, you look at the original Aliens, we said it's almost perfect. The costumes are brilliant. And you look at Alien 4, and all the CGI aliens swimming around and they're all shiny and look like cartoons, and it's just awful. I can't stand that at all. Oh, dreadful, dreadful, dreadful. Who is the best live action Batman? Ooh, silence.
Third is Christian Bale. Second is Val Kilmer. And
Val Kilmer.
Yep. And first is Michael Keaton. George Clooney is an honorable mention.
I also think that Robert Pattinson gets above. To be honest, for me, number one is probably Michael Keaton because he did it brilliant. But to be honest, I really like Adam West as Batman. As a different type of Batman, but the way he played the character, I really liked for the era that he was in. And he brought something to Batman, which other people have tried to do. And like his voice was just so classic. And he's just like, you know, and he did put on a different voice, like when he's got Bruce Wayne talking to Batman and he does like the slightly different voice. And it just works really well. I like that. But yeah, Robert Pattinson, I really like. Christian Bale, take him or leave him, to be honest. I'm not a big fan of the Dark Knight movies. One, because it's the Dark Knight and everything's at night and he has that stupid goddamn voice, which I hate the Batman voice. I just hate it. It worked for Michael Keaton, and why the hell did everyone else then have to do a stupid gruff voice? Just don't. You don't need to. You know, at least Ben Affleck had a voice modulator. Although it didn't matter because he goes around telling everyone he's Bruce Wayne anyway. So what's the point? I thought he was quite a good he could have been a good Batman. But this is what my distinction as well as a good Batman has to also have a good Bruce Wayne. Christian Bale didn't even really have a Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne was a kind of a nothing. It was an afterthought. It didn't work. When you look at Michael Keaton, and he's pretending to be Bruce Wayne all the time. And he actually does that. Christian Bale was just like, I can't be arsed with this. And the character was just kind of like, I just have to like walk around an office now and then. There wasn't a fleshed out character of Bruce Wayne in any of those movies, really.
Which is why I'm looking forward for what Robert Pattinson's Batman can do.
Yeah.
If they keep going, we saw enough of Bruce Wayne. As a matter of fact, I actually think we've seen too much of Bruce Wayne in the first Batman.
But that was kind of half the point, wasn't it? For him to find his place. What I really loved about that, it was, for me, it was the ending of it when he realizes it's not about vengeance, it's about hope. That for me was a thing that all the Christian Bale movies missed out. Batman isn't about dark vengeance, it's about hope. The same as Superman is about hope, which Zack Snyder never understood about Superman. And that's what they're missing. Superheroes are about hope, no matter what. Is even if he's scary and Batman's scary to the bad guys, not to the population. People should not be scared of Batman. And that moment where he's trying to help people and they're scared of him, and he realizes, like, I can't do this. I'm here to help these people. They shouldn't be scared of me. Only wrongdoers should be scared. And that's what I think lets down every Batman lately, is they focus too much on the Dark Knight. I am vengeance. I am the night. Yeah, but normal people shouldn't be scared of him. Kids should be able to like go up to him and be excited to see him because he's a superhero. That's what Adam's West character had. Yeah, he had the bright costume and everything else, and it was campy. But people weren't scared of him. The police weren't scared. You know, that's what I think is missing from a lot of that, to be honest. And that's what upsets me about Batman, because I love Batman and I love the Arkham games, but none of the movies really understood what Batman actually means.
You see, if you were going to say who's the best Batman of all time.
Oh, well, that's, yeah, there's only one answer. Let's be honest. Only one answer, sadly missing from us now, but
Kevin Conroy.
Has to be. Just like I say, who is the best Joker?
Mark Hamill.
Mark Hamill. Has to be. And the second best? Jack Nicholson. And then Cesar Romero. And none of the others matter.
Heath Ledger. I would put.
Once again, kind of bit of Joker. Some of it was good, but for me, it let it down a lot because the film just dragged on and on. It's like, this is the end. It was a little bit more. This is the end. It's a little bit more. And I just can't rewatch those movies anymore. I've tried and I just get bored. So I think he was good, but I think he's overrated good. People overrate him because he died or something else. But yeah, compared to like Jack Nicholson, I don't think there's even much for comparison, to be honest. Jack Nicholson embodied Joker in a completely different way. It was just like, and a lot of the stuff he did because he wanted to. It wasn't because it was written down. That's what I love about it. He wanted more and more screen time to get more and more money, and that's what he did. And he completely hammed it up, and that's what Joker should be. This completely over the top and ridiculous. And I'm not looking forward to the new Joker. The clips we saw, the deleted scenes from Batman and so on, was just like, they've picked the wrong one. It's just going to be better than Jared Leto, but that's not saying a lot, really, is it? Let's be honest. So,
easy thing to do.
Yeah, exactly. Right, could have done comics, anime, and books, but that's kind of a lot of stuff that I don't think we really. Oh no, here's one that'll be good. Should Batman kill the Joker?
No, because there's every single time it's always been he goes against what his creed is, and if he goes past that point, no villain in Gotham is safe.
Yeah.
So no, he shouldn't.
And then it gets out of proportion. Then he runs out of like the big villains, and then it's people that do a little bit less and just on the edge, and Batman just becomes like a ridiculous character then, doesn't he? And just starts going around killing people. So yeah. I'm not going to bother. Is Superman too powerful to be interesting?
No.
He does have weaknesses, is a thing, isn't it?
But the weaknesses are either scientifically made by extraterrestrials or a mad billionaire, playboy, evil Lex Luthor, bald, and on top of that, he's got kryptonite, which is his only.
And any form of magic is susceptible to all magic.
So that might be few, but they are dangerous for Superman.
And not only that, but he is very human. Yeah. Out of all the like super powered characters, he is probably the most human out of all of them, because when he's Superman, that's who he is. He grew up as a human. So that's how he sees the world. Clark Kent is just the kind of fictitious character he creates. It's, it's kind of like it's what he is. So it's kind of the blurring of the two things, but he is the most human. You look at people like Batman. Bruce Wayne is the character that he creates for the world to see. Batman is who he is, and he's not that human. But Superman is kind of he is really Clark Kent dressed as Superman, isn't he? It's kind of like Superman is the suit he puts on to kind of protect his identity and so on. It's not who he is. He is the human character. You look at any other superheroes, when they're in the normal clothes, that's kind of who they, you know what I mean? It's kind of like, it's the opposite for him, that he's more human when he's Superman than anyone else is when they're being their super persona type of thing. It's an odd kind of mix in it when you think about it, because he's very vulnerable to people picking on humans around him, more so than any other superhero. Yeah. He kind of feels it more, doesn't he? I think is the thing with Superman. Yeah. Right. Sci-fi and fantasy stuff. So sci-fi and fantasy. Should Lord of the Rings ever be rebooted?
No. 17 Oscars will never be replicated again. in my opinion. I think the only two films that deserve the praise that they got with Titanic and The Lord of the Rings. End of story. If it gets rebooted, I will.
You'll watch them. Let's be honest.
No,
I'm sure
I will go hunting. I will never watch a rebooted Lord of the Rings.
What if, though, they stayed completely faithful to the books? Didn't add things, didn't take things away.
Well, that's different.
Added Tom Bombadil, added the Barrow-wights.
Going for it.
Didn't add loads of love stories between bloody elves and bloody dwarfs and everything else.
No.
Would that be worthwhile then?
Oh, God, yeah. I know the whole Tolkien world, so of course that would be brilliant.
Yeah, that would be good. And there's no reason not to. It's the thing that we've said many times on this podcast. Many times. Stick with the actual source material. Sometimes I know it is difficult to do, especially on film, because things are different and you can't necessarily do it the same way. But you can't miss out something that becomes important later on. It's like the whole, you look at Lord of the Rings, and why was Gandalf scared of the Witch King?
He wasn't.
How did he break his staff? He was, though, in the movie. He was cowering, and he got his staff broken by the Witch King. How? How would the Witch King do that? He's just a zombie. Gandalf was a Maya. He defeated a Balrog. He is basically like a god. And you get this zombie with a sword beating him down. And he's looking scared shitless out of him.
Balrog would be more dangerous than the goddamn Witch King.
Well, yeah. So why was he... But that's the thing that got me about the Peter Jackson Lord of the Rings, is Gandalf was quite a weak character. He was often scared of everything. You look at early on in Fellowship of the Ring, when he comes back to the Shire after finding out about the ring, and he's disheveled, he's like, oh my God, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? And he's all panicky and scared. And it's like, that's not really Gandalf. He doesn't get panicked and scared. He's a Maya, for God's sake. He's like an all-powerful wizard. And he's running around like a little scared child. And he seems to do that through a lot of it. When he goes up, he's talking to Saruman. Oh, Saruman. Oh, no. Yes, sir. No, sir. That's kind of what they did to him. I think they weakened him a lot. And even when he comes back as, Gandalf the White, it seems like, oh, he's more powerful and everything. And then he's cowering in front of a zombie with a sword. So it's stuff like that I think could be good in a reboot to actually make the characters as they should be instead of what they want to be. As much as I love the movies, it's little bits like that sometimes you just go, really? Don't need to see two wizards like doing this weird battle thing, and it's kind of weird in places, wasn't it? But yeah. Right, let's have a look. Is The Mandalorian the best thing Disney has done to Star Wars?
No.
What is the best thing Disney has done to Star Wars?
Rogue One.
Yeah.
Rogue One, Andor, and The Mandalorian are the three best projects that Disney has produced for Star Wars, but it is Rogue One.
Rogue One was good, especially the Darth Vader scene. Just that alone is enough to just make me love the movie. Definitely. It was so good.
It was seamless. The transition from Rogue One into A New Hope was absolutely seamless. Because know, the moment that ship detaches, know what sound comes next.
Yeah, exactly.
At the start of The New Hope, the Star Destroyer blasters and the shield and the alarm, R2-D2 and C-3PO screaming and running about. It's seamless. Great. So that's the best, and I think that's the most seamless any film has been to leading into the next.
Yeah, it was fantastic. You know what? I still haven't watched Andor. I started watching it and I got bored because I'm like, the old guy, I don't give a shit. It's really like, yeah. It just hasn't interested me at all. And that's the trouble with a lot of the Star Wars stuff they do. They introduce new characters I really don't give a shit about. I have no love for any of them. I'm just like, oh, whatever. It's not interesting enough. I kind of like the original characters. It's the same problem I have a lot of things. I don't like a lot of spin-offs and prequels and that sort of thing because it's just like, I don't care. I like the original story. I don't need to know why. No, we've said before, it's not something I think you really need in a lot of situations. And I think they've just kind of overdone that a little bit, haven't they?
Yeah.
Right. A little bit of a different one. Are dragons better as intelligent beings or mindless beasts?
So, for example, intelligent being Smaug, a mindless beast being.
Yeah.
There's more thrill, more danger behind them if they're just an animal. They aren't smart. I think if they just had the normal brain, that's a dragon.
Yeah.
So, to answer your question, a mindless beast.
You prefer them to be mindless beasts then than thinking, planning, and scheming.
And sounding like Daddy Pig, yes.
I ruined that for you, didn't I?
Yeah, you have.
Have you ever seen Reign of Fire?
I have.
What about the dragons in that? Are they completely mindless, or is there some intelligence going on?
They're intelligent animals. They are actually thinking like hunters, how to survive as well, like a herbivore.
Is that just animal instinct rather than intelligence? Like when we say intelligence, do we mean like human level intelligence or animal instinct intelligence? Because there's quite a divide there.
I go in enhanced animal instinct, like more aware than a lion and more cautious than a deer.
Yeah. No, I completely agree with that. That's definitely, yeah. Right. Let's look. What other questions have I got? Yeah, there's one, but I think we've already discussed that. Is time travel the most overused sci-fi plot device? It was, now it's tied with multiverse, and they're very similar.
I think they just counted each other because they have been in every single film. Both plots have been in every single film, and I'm done with it. So done with it.
Yeah. Right, here is a little bit of a controversial one, but I kind of know which way you'll be leaning. But there's a reason behind the question that's a bit deeper. Star Trek versus Star Wars.
Star Wars.
No, oh no. There's more to this question. Who wins on storytelling?
Star Trek. There's more. There's so much more material.
It's not the material, but it's the type of storytelling for me.
Yeah.
Star Wars is galactic battles, good versus evil. But at a basic level, Star Wars is fairly basic, really, isn't it? It's good versus evil. It's stories we've seen 100 times. There's the whole meme thing where Harry Potter is just Star Wars. It's exactly the same storyline, and Star Wars is just based on a lot of samurai tales and that sort of thing. Whereas Star Trek, they try and tell like morality tales in space to make people think about what's happening in the world around them and that sort of thing.
For story, Star Trek.
Yeah.
Definitely 100% though.
But the thing I'll say about Star Trek that a lot of people don't necessarily think, Star Trek is just a soap set in space. That's all it is. Then so is like Stargate. It's not about the stories, it's not about the space battle, it's not about the aliens. It's about how the people interact with each other, and it's those interpersonal sort of balances and the relationships and all of that you watch it for. You don't watch it for the starships and stuff. With Star Wars, you watch it for the laser swords and the big spaceships, didn't you? So yeah, no, cool. That's good. We both feel the same way about that. There's a couple of questions that we've already had, like, is nostalgia ruining modern media? Yeah, we've already said about that. Are fandoms becoming too toxic or just more visible? So a fandom's always been toxic, but now we get to see it more. That's the kind of two sides of the question.
They've always been toxic. So I'm saying see it more because it's a trick question. They've always been toxic. Every fandom, a Destiny fandom, a Lord of the Rings, music, rock, pop, rap, metal, drill. Every fan is toxic in their own right. It's called opinion. So, but we're seeing a lot more of it, especially now with. I don't mean no offense, but it's with people with different sexualities. It's people with different identifications. It's color still.
But here's the question: are all fandoms toxic, though?
No,
because I'm finding that music fandoms are a lot more welcoming and supportive, which for me has been like amazing. Because obviously I've been doing this React channel. on the amount of positivity I'm getting. I've had like the odd people having a go and like, no, that was shit and so on. But 99% of people have been really positive. It's like, oh, you like that? Have a look at this one. And they want you to kind of join in on what their fandom is and enjoy the music they're enjoying. You don't get that so much with like movies and so on. It's like, oh, Star Trek shit, come and, you know, they'll say that's crap, do this. Whereas in music, it's like, oh, you like that, you might like this as well. And it's very much more, come and see what I've got. I really enjoy this. You might enjoy it too. Whereas all the other ones is that shit, this is better. And you don't seem to get that so much with music, which is kind of weird when you think about it, because there's so many different types of music. Obviously, there are a certain amount of that where people will be like, oh, I don't like that music. I like this music. You're crap if you like that. There's a certain amount of that. But on the whole, it's more positive because people want you to enjoy that. And it's like, I enjoy this for this reason. This is how this music makes me feel. Have a go and see what you think. Does it like invoke the same emotions from you? I think it's quite interesting.
I'm going to agree, because I've introduced Ellie to a few people and a few groups, and she's introduced me to a few people, a few groups who I like. Friends have showed me different paths. I've showed them new paths, and it's one reason why I don't care what people say. But my music taste is very good. I have so much stuff in my Spotify. It's unreal. But yeah, definitely.
I think it's quite interesting seeing the kind of differences. Right, another one. So, is binge watching better than weekly releases? If you have a new series, would you rather sit there and watch it all, or would you rather watch it week after week?
I'd see, if the full series is out, of course, binge watch. But if it comes out like with what Destiny did, the whole story is out and it lasted about an hour, that's not a story. But when it comes to films, TVs and whatnot, or television shows, if an entire season dropped, I would rather weekly release, because
it's nice to have something to look forward to, isn't it?
It's something to look forward to, and you've actually had time to breathe. But because if don't know an example, but you can always watch whatever you want for a full sitting. Why do it to everything? So weekly release.
Yeah, no, I agree, because it is nice, because obviously it used to be back like that before we had streaming services. You'd have to wait each week to watch it, and you'd always have, right, this is the time I'm going to watch this, and you can sit down with, you know, snacks and a drink and enjoy the show or whatever it was at that specific time, and just sit down and like, right, this is the time I get to watch this. If it's all available to binge, you'll just sit there, it's done, and then it's like, oh no, what do I do tomorrow? And it's kind of, it takes away from it. And I think sometimes as well, when the companies are making it, they rush it too much to get it all there available in one go. But when they used to do weekly, they'd be filming it along, and along that, so they'd still be filming it
like so
week after week.
They do it week after week. Emmerdale, Coronation Street, Hollyoaks, they're all doing amazingly. They thrive so long, and there's a reason, because they do it on the flow. They don't mess about. They don't like, oh, we're just going to do a crap ton of editing now that we've done. No.
A good example of something like that would be Invincible. They keep rushing it out. You compare like the first series to the newer series, and the animation just isn't there. They've actually made jokes of it in the series as well, where they're talking about, oh yeah, we can like cut when he's talking to somebody that did, what was it, that, you know, that Cosmic Dog or whatever, the people that were making that. And he's saying about, oh yeah, you can do this, and you can cut the animation just by keeping things fairly basic. And they're cutting through. It's like, yeah, that's exactly what you're doing. It kind of looks a bit shit though, because they're rushing it through. Because Amazon are going, oh, we want more. But is more better? Is it better to have something they've taken the time and done it properly, and not rushed? Look at Game of Thrones. Perfect example. It was good until they ran out of stuff and made it up themselves. And you can't duplicate somebody else's writing and go, oh, well, we're going to do this. That's not what the plan was. I know he doesn't actually have a plan, because he still hasn't finished writing them, and he never will, because he's lazy. You know, sorry, but he is. He keeps going, I'm going to do this. And then he just goes off and does something else instead. Right?
Let's get one more in. We have time for one more.
Well, this is an apt one for us. Do tier lists simplify discussions or make them worse?
Simplify. Because you can debuggle, you can have a talk about it, you can give opinion about it. And if someone hasn't even tried it before, you can introduce them to it, and then they can come back to you like, actually, I rate this highly.
It gives you talking points, doesn't it? Because you can go with this thing, and everyone will go, oh, yeah, I know about that. If you just try and have a discussion about it, it's harder to kind of bring those things up.
We've already done it twice. We've done it for the Destiny exotic weapons, and we did it for something else as well.
We've done a few.
Games. Yeah, we've done a few. So
yeah, horror games and so on. It's an easy way to get a discussion going, isn't it? I think.
But it's a fun way as well. That's what's key about it. It's easy, but it's a guaranteed banger. It's brilliant. I love tier lists.
No, I do. It's good fun. Right, we should probably end it there because we could just carry on all day, but it's been some nice, interesting points to discuss in it. So if people want to find you on the internet, where else can they find you?
You can find me on YouTube at the Welsh Assassin 998, and you can find me on Twitch with the same.
And if you want to find me, you can find me on Twitch and Nukami, or on YouTube on Was My Fault or WMF Reacts. So thanks a lot for joining us. Please join us again soon. Until then, see you soon.
Bye-bye.